So the second video is about how to fix errors you may have made or get proficient on various rows on the rubric that you may not have been proficient on. I'm going to use this example rubric to talk you through it. The place we're going to start is in the first row, the claim. If you were not proficient here, make sure you have a clear thesis that states at least 3 different causes of genocide. If you're interested in moving up from meeting towards exceeding, make sure that you are including information about whether or not you think genocide will occur in Syria. Next, let's go down to the next row, the informative writing development row. For this one, it's about the evidence that you chose to use. So, a couple of things here. This person doesn't need to revise body paragraph 1 because that already is proficient. They should focus their revisions on body paragraphs 2 and 3. So what they need to do is look into those paragraphs and figure out, is the evidence that they're using actually showing what they say they're talking about in the paragraph? So if the paragraph is about dehumanization, but the evidence deals more with other aspects of genocide, such as characterization or something like that, make sure that your evidence is matching up with your claim. For the next row, the argumentative writing development row, this is strictly a numbers basis. This person used 4 case studies. We talked about that before. That's up here at the top of the rubric. Because they used 4 case studies, they're proficient. If you didn't use 4 different case studies, that's how you can increase your proficiency in this row. The next row, the analysis row, deals with how well you're connecting your evidence to the argument that you're making. So again, in paragraph 1, this person was proficient, so they can leave that as is. In paragraphs 2 and 3, this person should be focusing their revision on the analysis in those paragraphs. A couple of tips here. Number 1, look at the analysis in paragraph 1 to see why it was good. Hopefully that will help you. In those second and third body paragraphs as well that this person needs to fix, oftentimes there was either evidence with no analysis or just the analysis was a simple restatement of the evidence. Make sure you are explaining how a specific piece of evidence, like for example the Germans calling their hereros dogs and baboons, how does that both show dehumanization, but more importantly, how does that sort of dehumanization allow the genocide of the herero people to occur? Many people miss that last step. Another common error was in the conclusion row, which is totally okay. We've not spent a lot of time talking about how to write conclusions. But in order to move towards a proficient conclusion, you need to make sure you're focusing on what exactly matters about this paper. So what? You figured out the causes of you figured out what makes genocide happen, but why does this matter? Why is this sort of a conclusion important for the wider world? Why should we care? In the next row, the creativity row, if you found yourself in the approaching or initial stages, you may have had a paper that was not finished, so we weren't able to see the total development of your ideas. Or you may have just taken the 8 stages of genocide document and recreated that. We're hoping in this to see perhaps aspects of the 8 stages of genocide, but also some of your original thinking on this. So if you were not proficient there, consider adding some of your own thoughts, not just recreating the 8 stages of genocide document. Finally, for argumentative language, if you are down in the approaching or in the initial stages, some proofreading would help. Get a friend to proofread it, perhaps ask me to proofread it to figure out what exactly the areas were where your true meaning was not coming through, and hopefully you'll be able to increase to meet the standard in that area. Again, a proficient task will have every single one of these first 7 rows, so all the rows that are not grayed out, in meeting the standard. This sort of borderline thing here with the informative writing development is not a proficient score. So hopefully you'll be able to make those corrections. As always, I've got office hours on Wednesday and would be happy to help you there as well.